Hey, nerdy sports fan, and this is post game for the Chiefs' decimation of the Texans. Now, let's dig right into it. So, we're going to start with a 14-0 deficit for the Chiefs. Their defense stands up, trying to get them back into the game, and a muff punt immediately afterwards on the Chiefs' behalf deflates the entire stadium. Offense, defense, everything. The only people that really maintained an energy level after that point were Andy Reid and Mahomes. So you combine that with the earlier blocked punt touchdown on Houston's part, and you're thinking immediately, okay, special teams coordinator for the Chiefs is losing his job tomorrow. Okay? It seemed so bad just at that point. And so the Texans had a big hit on Hill, separating the ball and really dominating at that point. I mean, those are the kinds of calls that happen in the season, don't happen in the playoffs, and you're thinking the physicality that the Texans were bringing to this game up so big so early, it just seemed like it was terrible for the Chiefs. Absolutely bad. And that's when it flipped. Like, seriously, special teams is the reason that they were out of it, and it's the spark that got them back into it. This is how important field position play and special teams is in the playoffs, because the Mecole Hardman return that gets them deep into Texans territory, and that momentum continues to a great throw and catch to Travis Kelce, getting him inside the 5, setting up easy scoring play. So that I shouldn't say easy scoring play. Okay, it was the perfect pass. I mean, Williams, it doesn't even have to slow down. He catches the ball in stride right at the bend of his break that actually allows him to look back and see the ball coming right into his chest. Absolutely perfect play. Anyways, so defense stands up on 3rd and 4, short field, created after a stopping a fake punt attempt, and creates another touchdown for Kansas City. So now they're right back into it, and we have a DB. Oh, yeah, there was a pass interference. So there's a pass interference to Travis when their DB's guarding Travis Kelce. And this was the theme of the day at a certain point. The defensive secondary of Houston absolutely could not stop Kelce. They had no answers for him. There were multiple pass interference calls drawn by Kelce. They were just grabbing him. There was no defense for that dude. They had no answer for him. And it got Kansas City so many easy chunk plays with those pass interference calls tacked onto things or extending drives for them. Field position was such a huge factor. Kansas City just over and over again getting deep into Texans territory at the beginning of their drives. Multiple reasons, mind you. There was fumble recoveries, there were special teams plays, and but I can't say enough about there were points where it seemed like the Texans could bring momentum back. Stopping the Chiefs at only a field goal, or, that it was kind of cheap when you saw Mahomes still get credited with the touchdown pass after he steps beyond the line of scrimmage, plainly and obviously. Little things like that, diehard Texans fans are going to hold on to, like, the momentum could have shifted at that point. But it never did. Kansas City held on the momentum the whole game. Now, later in the game, we're talking, let's see. Will Fuller, after the Chiefs scored 41 straight points. So they're down 24-0. And they get up 41-24 on 41 unanswered. Will Fuller, all by his lonesome, is bringing Houston back into the game. And just one shot play. One shot downfield. And you remember why Fuller is so important to this team. His ability to take the top off of a defense is not rivaled by anybody other than Tyreek Hill on the opposite side. I mean, if it wasn't for Hill, Fuller would be the best deep ball threat in the game. And just a shot or two to him kept them in this. And I'm bothered by Houston's decision to go for it on fourth down instead of maintaining the play of field position really, really early. Really early. I mean, they had time. And it seemed like a desperate move. All they had to do was play within themselves, continue to play within themselves, and they could have gotten back into this at a point late in the third, early in the fourth. But that decision to go for it stank of desperation at that point and offered up another short field. You showed your ass. You gave up at that point, okay? If you just kept fighting with the right game plan, Hyde wasn't being stopped. Fuller shot plays were working. Deshaun Watson is always a human highlight reel. He's playing great the whole game. He didn't give this game up. And you give up on the team by making a desperation play like that either keeps you on the field for a possible scoring possession or guarantees to give one up with how well Kansas City had been doing with good field position all game. So, Fuller deep shots continued still at that point, but they had already been outscored too much at that point. And the time eaten, it's done. And, the sack under 2 minutes just ended any hope. But, yeah, they were pretty much toast at that point. So, to me, the keys to this game were special teams for the Chiefs, bringing them back into it after they had essentially given up in the first quarter. Big special teams plays, fumbles on recovery, returns from Houston, and everything seemed huge. Mecole Hardman touching the ball at any point for a return, it was watching poetry. The guy's a great return man, and it mattered. It mattered so much every time he was going down the field with that ball, and it's really helping to kill the narrative that's surrounded Andy Reid his whole career of just not being able to bring it and stay in it in the playoffs. They had every reason to give up in the first quarter. They were down 24-0 so damn early. Everybody in the stadium was dead except for Reid and Mahomes. And one good run back from Mecole Hardman brought them back into it, and they never let go of that momentum. The beginning of the second quarter was the beginning of the end for Houston. They just didn't know it yet. So like I said in my pregame videos, the game was actually a good game, and the only reason Houston was able to stay in it was Will Fuller actually being activated and usable late in the game. But, man, once Kansas City grabbed hold of the momentum with a couple of special teams plays, it was over. All right, I'm rambling at this point. So, hey, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and check out the pregame videos I'm going to be having for next week. I got another postgame video coming today, and we'll just watch the playoffs and talk shit to each other the rest of the ride. Thanks for watching, guys.